Hi everybody, and welcome to Video Review with Coach Glenn. Let's get right into the action today. And we've got Barbie serving. Good doubles point here to start things off. And I like the movement here. You can, at this point, very cool stuff going on here. Gretchen's doing a good job at keeping her focus on that young lady, Val, at the net. Val has done a great job in shadowing where the ball is. So let's move it on forward. We have a nice little cross-court exchange going here. And at this point, Barbie decides to change direction and try to sneak one up Val's alley. And this is when you're in Gretchen's position. Gretchen's right here. When she sees that going on, obviously Gretchen would want to slide right into the center because, well, why is that? Because Val sees what's open right through here. That's pretty much the natural angle of deflection. It's kind of tough for Barbie to track that down since the ball would be running away from her. So Gretchen's got to get over there because I got a funny feeling where that ball's going to go. And sure enough, right through the center. Wow. Okay, let's go back here. And yeah, Barbie just changed direction and went to the net person, and there really isn't much you can do in a situation like that. And I think Barbie recognized it. It probably wasn't the best time to try to go over to that side of the court. Yeah. Okay. Right through the middle, and there it goes again. Well, if there's anything to learn from something like this, it's how many balls really do go across or through the center of the court, and relative to how many balls are going up the alley. So let's move on forward. And just a little quick reminder, let's back this up a little bit. Here's the point starting, and we're going to move this forward a little bit where the serve's going in and Barbie's watching that ball go in. But what Barbie, and you can see she's already kind of taken off a little bit, assuming Gretchen's going to get that ball over. And so whenever you're in Barbie's position here, really you've got to keep your focus on that person at the net, because that's, you know, when you're in Barbie's position, this is your area of responsibility in here, and that's why focusing in on that net person is so critical, because you never know what they might do. I love the reactions. Here we go. Next point. Just a little suggestion as far as starting position. And the partner of the receiver, in which case Barbie here, that's pretty standard position there. She's angled off a little bit and trying to be there to call the line for her partner. I'm not a real big fan of that being a responsibility. Ideally, I kind of like it when this person, or in Barbie's position, is back a little bit and shading more towards the center. And when you're able to do this, that's where you're, if that ball comes from that net person, it tends to go through this area here, and it's much more playable than it is when you're to the side and you have to reach across the middle to reach the balls. So let's get rid of all those lines and play some tennis here. Ouch. Let's back up earlier in the point. I really liked what was going on. Watch the shifting of the players here. In the rally, they shift to that side. The ball comes over here. Look how everybody shifts back over. That's really good movement from all of you. When you're not hitting the ball is to keep moving. I think Gretchen could move in a little bit more. Ouch, barely missed that. It was a good point. Great movement, everybody. Oh, wow, what a dig from Barbie there. Let's move it on forward here. Wow. Okay, here's an example here where Barbie's on her way in. Val's done a good job. She's in a good position right there. And the role of Cindy back on the baseline here is simply this. You know, Barbie's return has pushed her back a little bit, and this is where it's important to get that return. If you can't get it over their heads, at least get it lower over the net, because as we move forward into this point, you know, the ball gets up a little bit high, and when that happens, you can see how Barbie's moving up to that. She's got a ball that she gets to field above the net, which allows her to hit down into the court. So that ball is going to get on Val pretty quickly at the net, and there's not a whole lot she can do with that. So let's move it on forward. Okay. Again, just going to point out the partner of the receiver, in which case here we've got Cindy, who's all ready for action. But again, you know, just it's a matter of positioning in this game, and as far as where, you know, we could be of more values if Cindy can just position herself more to her left, because again, it goes back to when you're in Barbie's position, if they do field volleys, that's the area that they go through, and Cindy's just, you know, anybody would be a little bit too far away from the middle to cover anything. So let's go on into the point. Let's pick up. Yes, what a great game. I love it. Here we go. Son of a gun. And what you want to get from this, by the way, is how many times situations repeat themselves, because right now, you know, if we look at this big space on this side of the court here, and where, you know, when you're in Gretchen's position here, it's so critical for her, you know, if she can't go over Val's head, is get that ball cross court away from the net person, because anytime, you know, you're in Val's position, she gets that ball, she's pretty much just going to go right through here. It's a pretty easy play. Let's move this forward and see what happens. So when Barbie picks that ball up going over there, and you can see how, if you look at Barbie, how she's kind of backing away a little bit straight. And when you back up, understanding the angle nature of this game is, as you back up, just back up more into the center of the court, because it is a game of angles, and we'll probably see a ball that will be angled from Val's backhand volley right across the center. And so what, you know, Barbie can move over there. What Gretchen can do is, understanding how angles work in this game, is she could do her, you know, do her best to, you know, just get over to this area of the court as quickly as she can, because that's where more balls tend to go. Let's see where Val hits this. And you can see that's pretty much the natural angle of deflection that's going to be hit, and it just goes right in between the two of them there. So good shot, Val. Lesson learned. Barbie and Gretchen, and I love the smile on people's faces even when they lose points. So let's catch another point here to finish up and see what happens. Oh my goodness, what reactions there. Okay, let's back this up here just to make a point. This is where, again, it's so important, this person, to stay focused on that person. And let's see what happens when the ball goes in. Let's get rid of all these lines in here. Okay, so here the ball's popping up, and Cindy's tracking the ball, and Barbie's just lining up to just crush this ball. And in most instances, Cindy here was able to reflex it back. It's very difficult when you're that close dealing with a ball like this, but Cindy holds her ground, and being the fine player that she is, sticks her racket out, and sure enough, she is able to keep that ball into play. So now let's see how the rest of the point pans out. So after this shot, let's see if Gretchen moves up a little bit. Good angle. And, as this ball is traveling off to the side here, and you can see Gretchen's put this ball way over here. So this person, Cindy, okay, when you're caught in Cindy's position in there and you can see Val's running out there, can barely reach a ball, I think we can all agree on the fact how it's important for Cindy to just back up into the center of the court at this point, should Val be able to return the ball back into play. And she wasn't able to, but we always have to be prepared just in case if the ball does come back. So that's all I have for you right now, everybody. That was good fun. Thank you. And we'll catch up with you next time. If you have any comments or questions, send them my way. And thank you for the privilege of going over your video. Okay? Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.